next we've got Amandul, or is it Amanduel? Billy Joel? Amanduel. Amandul, Hijack. Looks like a prog rock band. I'm just guessing here. Not into prog either. I'm very much like a Ramones fan. I like, you know, get in, get out, do what you gotta do, move on. So, you know, another genre I totally respect. I just have not ever been a fan.
Amandul II and Hijack on Atco Records from '74. Heidi Lee identified this as prog rock. It kind of is, but it's a whole another genre of prog rock called krautrock, which is from Germany. Amandul is one of the crazier but also more accessible ones. This is actually one of their more, what would you say, less krautrocky ones and more straight out rock ones. Again, this is another one I got from Tommy's store for $1. And again, I hate to sound and repeat myself. I really haven't played it since I got it. Does come with lyric inner sleeve, and it's from '74. Like I said, a little more accessible than their other krautrock stuff. People ask, why is there an Amandul and Amandul II? Amandul originally was some kind of like hippie commune in Germany that also had musicians in there, and there's one record by them, I think it's called Psychedelic Underground, which is just crazy, bizarre, loose psychedelic jams. But then like the commune fell apart and the actual musicians stayed together and continued as Amandul II. And their most well-known record is a thing called an album called Yeti, which is really great.
And now we're getting into stuff that I actually know a little bit of. Here are the Animals, Eric Burton and the Animals, with Animalism. They do songs on this like Shake and Lucille.
This is a real early record show purchase of mine when I first started discovering things like record shows. I got this 1990-91. My employer, close friend and musical associate Izzy, who owned Izzy's Records in Linden, used to put on record shows at the Coachman Inn in Clark. And I believe this is where I found this. The Animals, Animalism on MGM from 1966. It's a different beast from their Animalism album that was released in England, different track listings and stuff. This was like the last album for what was still basically the original lineup before they split off and became Eric Burton and the Animals. I was really excited to find this because Frank Zappa is on this record. He composed one song, plays guitar and a few others. I think he plays bass on The Other Side of This Life. And I like it. I like the little touches. People used to write on stuff. Somebody wrote the date on the back there and their name, although it comes out backwards there. November 21st, 1966. Yeah, you can tell definitely Zappa's on here because the first track, All Night Long, sounds like, has the same production sound as like Freak Out, because Tom Wilson was producing the Animals at this point.
We've got another Animals record here, Animalization. This cover where they're sitting at their tech school cafeteria or the college classroom. I do like these chairs though. Those are pretty fun chairs. I like them a lot. There's Eric. And of course this one has Don't Bring Me Down, which is an awesome song. Inside Looking Out.
Another Animals here. I purchased this way back. I think I got this when I was in high school from one of the music stores in the Woodbridge Mall. They all had names. I mean, I remember Sam Goody, but in the mall they had like Record Town or Musicland. It's the Animals, Animalization, a U.S. only record. Came out in MGM in '66. This, of course, is a reissue on Polydor from 1986. So yeah, this must have been when I got it. Has the hits Don't Bring Me Down and CC Rider and Gin House Blues. Another one, I'm going to be saying this a lot during this series. Why do you keep it if you have it on CD? I don't know. It just stayed in the collection, and it's cool to have. You know, we'll get into that sometime in some later videos. We'll talk about collecting and why and other things. I don't want to get into it right now. Right now, I got to discuss these records.
It's got a really cool cover. So this is the Animals with Eric Burton. You know, I always hear Eric Burton and the Animals, but evidently on this one they decided to go a little different and say it's the Animals with Eric Burton in the beginning. Probably has a lot of their early tracks like Boom Boom, Bo Diddley. Cool cover though. And I know, looking at this now, I know exactly why John has this, is because there's this little printing on the back that says that it was nationally distributed by Springboard Records in his hometown of Rahway, New Jersey. So I know this one has to be a little bit special for him. So
another Animals one. This is called The Animals with Eric Burton in the Beginning on Wand. I believe it's on Wand. Yes, on Wand. This is early live recordings from 1963 when bluesman Sonny Boy Williamson went to England. He was backed up on shows, live shows by both the Yardbirds and the Animals. And this is the Animals live set. Is a pretty good recording, just as good as the Yardbirds one, recorded online, not a bootleg. And Sonny Boy Williamson comes out at the end himself, probably really drunk, and plays drums on a track called Sea Jam Blues, which is real ramshackle. Stuff came out in England. I think it was released in England, or I'm thinking of something else, early Animals. But anyway, I found this in downtown Rahway at Soundorama, which is our local record store, which of course Heidi Lee may have pointed out to you already on the back there. It says distributed by Springboard International, Rahway, New Jersey, which was a cheapo record label, record pressing plant, which I think was over on the other side by the DMV somewhere. I think my mother said one of our neighbors, when I was real little, he worked there running record presses. And I read a story on somebody's blog once about working at it, and some guy flipping out because he couldn't take the repetition of working in a factory, and he duct taped a cardboard box to his head and ran out into the street screaming. True story. If I could find that blog, I'm going to share it again.
okay, this one is Eric Burton and the Animals, the Greatest Hits compilation. And of course it's got all the basics on there. Don't let me be misunderstood. We gotta get out of this place. And bonus tracks include Spill the Wine by Eric Burton Moore. So there is Eric Burton Moore on this too. So, and evidently, yeah, I guess they did Nights in White Satin, it says. I've never heard that, so I'm gonna have to give that a listen to. Eric Burton and the Animals, Greatest Hits.
All right, another Animals. In fact, today's Eric Burton's birthday while we're recording this. He's 81. This is credited to Eric Burton, the Animals' Greatest Hits. I purchased this because I wanted to get Spill the Wine at the time. I think I might have gotten this end of grammar school, beginning of high school, again at Soundorama, downtown Rahway. Now, it has Spill the Wine, and it lists a whole bunch of other Animals tracks. But what this is, I think, is early 70s, mid 70s recordings of like the Eric Burton band when he was solo and made a couple of records. Because I remember buying it, putting it on, and said, this don't sound like the Animals songs I hear on the radio. Then there's a couple of originals on here, which I think maybe tracks by War or whatever. But I just remember this real corny song in here called The Man, which Eric didn't write, but it starts off with sirens and stuff. He goes, I'm running from the man, or something like that. Why do I keep it? Again, I don't know. It's just here. It never left the collection.
Now this one, what a cool cover. Eric Burton and the Animals, the twain shall meet. I always want to say and never, but it's just the twain shall meet. Very cool cover. It continues in the back there. Really nice design. It's got Monterey, Sky Pilot. It's a great song.
Here we have, again, another $1 purchase from Tommy's store when I was there hanging out and felt guilty for not buying anything and just sitting there hanging out with him. Eric Burton, the Animals, The Twain Shall Meet from 1968. Cost me $1. It's not in the greatest of shape, but it's a British copy. Again, why, John? It's cool to have. What the hell? The psychedelic Animals kind of get a bad rep. I've read critics, reviewers say the Animals were doomed to splinter apart because they never developed strong songwriters. And it is a little corny, just psychedelic stuff, but I like it. It has a charm, has fun. I think it would have been more cool if the Animals turned into more of a Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac blues band. In fact, one of my Animals books says that Mike Bloomfield came over to England and played with them, rehearsed with them in '67. They were planning to go that way, but then I guess Eric started doing acid and started writing songs like this. But this has their hit Monterey, the tribute to Monterey Pop Festival, and of course Sky Pilot, and one really noisy one I like called Closer to the Truth. $1.
Up next, we get a cheery little record called Armageddon by Armageddon. Yeah, look at these guys. Ooh. Pretty scary, kind of creepy. Don't know anything about this one either. There are 3 songs on the first side, and then I'm seeing 2 songs on the second side, but the second song breaks down into 4 different categories. So I'm guessing it's like some sort of opus, I guess. Ah, found the reason that John has it. Keith Ralph. Yardbirds connection. Oh, and look at back. They turned to stone. It's not yellow. There.
Here we have Armageddon on A&M from, I think this came out in '75, somewhere around there. Armageddon, a heavy rock band featuring Keith Ralph of the Yardbirds on lead vocal, the last band he was in before he sadly died, and also 2 of his friends from Renaissance that he was in, Louis Sinamo and Bobby Caldwell, the drummer from Captain Beyond, another heavy band, and Martin, I don't know if I say the guy's last name right, Martin Pugh, P-U-G-H. He played lead guitar on Rod Stewart's first solo, and he was with England Steamhammer. Pretty heavy record, kind of prog. Got your lyric sheet here. I think I played a song or 2 from this on our radio show at the time. Probably could have been big, but sadly, Keith was electrocuted by his own guitar in England in '76. This was another off-the-record purchase for about $1.
I know that this one is one of John's all-time favorite covers. Cool biker mod-looking models. Can't get any better than that, right? This is the Arrows featuring Davy Allen. Very similar to the one we just saw a little while ago, so I think maybe we have a misfiling here. This is the psychedelic sounds of Davy Allen and the Arrows. Psychedelic. Very, very, very clever. Here are the guys in the back. The Arrows, Davy Allen. Let's check for the receipt. Oh, there's something in there. Aha. So this was bought at Izzy's.
Here we have the Arrows, Davy Allen and the Arrows, and one of his original '60s records, Psychedelic Sounds. More great fuzz biker instrumentals on the Tower label. Tower was Capitol Records' subsidiary, and a lot of us collectors have this weird fascination with the Tower label because it's like where they put all the freaky people that wouldn't belong on Capitol on Tower. And there's something about the Tower label and stuff that just fascinates me. The plain brown burnt sienna label and the weird stuff you find on there. There's more great fuzz instrumentals. I think this might have been an early Izzy's purchase because I remember walking into the first location on St. George's Avenue in Linden, walking in the door, looking down at the crate, and this was sitting right there. And I said, oh, I'll take that. No inner sleeve, just Tower was cheap. Yeah. Original Izzy's receipt. Heidi thinks it's quirky that I save receipts. But I was just keeping track of my spending habits and stuff. Yeah, June 5th, sometime, probably in 1994 or 95. Title tracks are really cool, long fuzz instrumental, and a couple of themes from the biker movies there, Devil's Angels theme and Born Losers theme. Great record. If you dig fuzz, always check out Davy Allen and the Arrows.
So this is our Sunova. Again, I'm getting prog vibes from this, not sure why. There's the back where they're all bronzed. Has a gatefold. Well, it's one of those, there's a name for this and I forget what it is, but yeah, there's the lyric sheet here, some more artwork, and then the record is actually kind of in a little pocket, which I know John says he doesn't like, and I can see why. It's kind of awkward packaging, and I can see where it could split easier than some of the other packaging. So yeah, don't know anything about this band or particularly why John has this record, but I'm sure he will let us know.
Up next, from 1968 on Elektra, these are Ars Nova, their self-titled debut, their self-titled album. They made one other album called Sunshine and Shadows, I believe, on Atco. You don't see around much. These guys, how would you describe them? I don't want to say Baroque, like the way to describe Left Bank, but they're psychedelic, but they're like a rock band with like orchestral instruments like trumpet, trombone, and stuff. What they are known for, or you would know for them, if you're a fan of The Move covered their song Fields of People in a much lengthy version on their Shazam album. Gatefold. This is one of the worst innovations in record packaging, Unipack, with the record's got to come out from the inside sleeve. I've never been a fan of that. I like it on the outside. Produced by Paul Rothchild, of course, because it's on Elektra. He produced The Doors and Love and stuff. Yeah. I have it on CD too, so why do you have the original? I don't know. I just keep it.
Right, our final record for this set is, it has a cool cover, and I always have trouble finding the name of the band, but of course it's actually, you can actually read it on the spine here. It's called Art, and the name of the album is Supernatural Fairy Tales. Don't know anything about this group, but I do like the cover. That's kind of fun, huh? Probably very psych. Kind of looks like Tommy James and the Shondells in the back there.
Here we have Art, Supernatural Fairy Tales. Now, Art are basically Spooky Tooth without Gary Wright. Before they were Art, they were called the VIPs, or sometimes they would be credited as the Vips with 2 Ps, and ended up having one American single on Mercury that way. This is on Island from late '67, a mono copy. Again, sorry, not an original, a reissue. And like I said, it's basically Spooky Tooth without Gary Wright. In fact, one song on here, I Think I'm Going Weird, was used as a Spooky Tooth B-side. But I don't know if it's the same recording or not. And also, they cover Buffalo Springfield's For What It's Worth on here, but it's called What's That Sound? And the songwriting credit mistakenly says Mills and not Stills. And a great psychedelic cover by the design team of Hapsash and the Colored Coat, I believe it's called. But pretty cool psychedelic record, late '67. Some good guitar work, and produced by the legendary Guy Stevens.
All right, thanks for sticking around. If you made it through that first 20 record selection that we went through and kind of talked about, hope you'll stick around, like, share, and subscribe, because we've got a lot to go through back there. And thanks for being patient with me and my getting used to recording. The ring light and everything is, I'm trying to have it at the right angle where it's not completely in my eyeballs, and then blocking with the reflection. Learned to take the plastic off of the albums to kind of help show them a little bit better. So a lot to learn. Sure, we'll get better as we go along. But again, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you probably in a week or so.